reading about you had some horrible preps that were based on the bodybuilding status quo of how to prep as well, man. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like all the protein, none of the fats, feel like shit.
I was, yeah. So you read it. Okay, cool. Yeah. So you read my exact words. Cool. So yeah.
I don't remember if the words feel like shit were in there, but I was reading, I was like, this guy felt like shit.
Could have been wanted to die, something like that. But there was I remember that was my prep going into my first show when I was 19. And I was doing 2 hours of stair stepper. I was on 0 carbs I got 50 grams of carbs every 4 or 5 days, no fats, and 400 grams of protein. And it was fish. 400 grams of protein, and I was getting
a school of fish.
Yeah. It was actually.
You have a tank.
It was like it was boxes of tilapia.
Single-handedly depleted the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, so guess what fish I never want to eat again?
Yeah, this is why you live in Portland.
Exactly.
The ocean.
Yeah, good. So actually, when that was done, I had such bad damage, like metabolically, that I actually gained like 45 pounds of weight in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I was doing construction work at the time, and my feet were so swollen I couldn't even lace up my work boots. It was, that's some scary crap, man.
Right.
And a lot of people think like that. It's like, why would I ever need that amount of protein? And it's just because of the people that you listen to. And he finally breaks up down. You mentioned Lane Norton earlier. I've read almost everything that guy talks about. And, everyone's got their own take on training. Everyone's got their own take on this. But when it comes down to nutrition, I feel like nutrition's pretty proven. You know what I mean? You could look at some guy and say, well, you need to do progressive overload for, your workouts, or you're never going to see any progress. But that guy's seeing progress. So I think training is one of those things where if you're training correctly and your intensity's up, even if you're not focusing on like a set progressive overload, you could still see plenty of progress. Because I know a lot of people that are bigger than me, and they don't do progressive overload, and they're natural bodybuilders, and they look insane. But when it comes to nutrition, it's pretty cut and dry. And back then, like you said, everyone was doing that like super high protein. I didn't even know the fats that I got was the fat that was in the fish, and I think there's not much at all.
Not much.
Yeah.
So, that's such an important part of a diet in general, just for your mind. You know what I mean? You don't have fats. This is gonna sound really sad, and it was a really upsetting time in my life because I was like, I really want to bodybuild. I really want to keep this going, but I was literally eating and sleeping because I was so hungry to get to my next meal. And that was back when, I was really focused on making sure you eat every 3 hours. And it wasn't every 2.5 hours. It wasn't every 2 hours or 45 minutes. It was every 3 hours. I'd sit there and look at my watch and think,
why?
And 3 hours. Okay, now I'm going to eat. Time my microwave up perfectly that when it goes off, it's been 3 hours. So that's how I was.
Same thing.
You've always been this dialed in, is what you're trying to tell us.
I don't mess around. Yeah.
But have you learned nutritional techniques from the great bodybuilders of the past as well? Have you looked into that?
Yeah, you know what I like about those guys? It was what was it? Intuitive eating. You know what I mean? It wasn't. You hear about not Tom Platz. Arnold Schwarzenegger talks about it. Awesome.
Right.
He makes an excellent point of this whole thing. He'll sit there and say, I didn't eat like the way people did nowadays. People eat nowadays to like scarf. You know what I mean? Like, you worked really hard to get on stage. Why do you have to eat 7 tubs of Haagen-Dazs when you're done? Why do you have to do all that? You know what I mean? Arnold and those guys back in the old days, Arnold would sit there and say, well, back then, I used to have, 2 or 3 medium steaks. 2 or 3 medium steaks? That might be a lot of steaks, but what if that steak was 6 ounces? What if it was 8 ounces? What if it was 7? That's stuff people would fret nowadays. And I admired I'd rather have a much happier lifestyle and eat intuitively than weigh every single thing out. Like, this entire time I've been here, I've made conscious decisions. You know what I mean? I went out after the video shoots and everything from training the other day. I went out and had 3 rolls, sushi rolls, and then I had 3 or 4 of the hand rolls, which is a lot of food.
Right.
But you know what I did? I knew that I had a big portion of fat there, a big portion of protein, and a big portion of carbs. So later in the day, I didn't eat normally. Eat a little more cleaner, have salads with chicken, have something that's a little less carbs, a little less fat, knowing you blew so much of it earlier. And that's where people fall off. They just think it's 24/7 eating, and that's why people are 50 pounds overweight.
Or they just fall apart if they just go off their macros.
I don't have my scale. I can't go out to eat. I used to miss Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners with my family. Times that you can't get back.
You'd skip them?
Yeah, I'd sit there and eat out of a Tupperware. While my parents would cook awesome meals for the family, and I would skip it because I thought that you couldn't do it. And I see too many people. What's really weird is it's still happening. There's still people out there that are like, flexible dieting doesn't work.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Right. Like, what do you need to see, man? Like, it just works.
Do you feel like it works for you because you just have you have the idea of macros programmed into you from all your experience.
It takes work,
though?
man. I will say that because I actually have like an Excel spreadsheet on my phone, and it has my proteins, carbs, and my fats. And when I eat something and I can track it, let's say, you eat a bag of potato chips, or you eat like what are those little honey bunches of oats things, or like little bars or something. Anything that's got a scan on the back, find out how much you ate and just type it into your thing, and then track what you're doing. At the end of the day, I want to hit my carbs, fats, and protein, which I know what those are. And at the end of the day, tally everything up and then try to hit that. That's making a conscious effort. Is your body going to fret over you going, 10 grams over? No. Is it going to fret if you're going 20, 30 grams below protein? Maybe a little bit. But on the scheme of things, would you rather have a more balanced life that you're happy with? Or would you rather be restricted to being buried in your phone and being, nothing's worse than being depressed because you ate 3 ounces of fish instead of 4. It's like, what are you doing? And I used to be like that.
Sure.
Much better life now.
So it's like half intuitive, but also careful tracking, and just kind of finding that right balance.
It's like there's a lot of learning that goes into flexible dieting. You have to figure out. I have people ask all the time, "What are macros?" First of all, everybody who's listening to this, it's a simple Google search away. I don't know why people. I've never seen somebody doing something and go, "Well, what's this?" Google it. My dad tells me to Google stuff. Like, how is that possible? Like, kids nowadays, if you got a question about something, Google it. You can find studies on
what are my macros, Daddy?
Flip open that phone. What am I talking about on that one?
Flip that shit right open.
Turn on that N64 and let's do this.
That's right. Go over to Kazam, download your macros.
Just get it right. But yeah, man, unfortunately, there's a little bit to learn prior. I'll tell everybody that I think once you learn what your general macros are and you have a concept of flexible dieting, you can live a much better lifestyle and enjoy bodybuilding much more. Because when I got done with that first show, I thought I wasn't going to do it anymore.
Sure. And do you feel like going full scale and weigh is necessary just to kind of grasp the concept even initially?
Yeah, that's something I've been kind of toying around with is that necessary to go that?
When I go home, like there's a big difference because when you're getting ready for a show, you're going to present yourself on stage. You better look awesome. If you're trying to lose 8 pounds for a photo shoot and you're not supposed to be stage ready where your cheekbones are sticking out, you can be a little more lax on stuff. But you should track if you're trying to hit your goal. And when you get a good grasp on everything, you can be a little more lenient. You know what I mean? When I'm at home and I have a scale, there's no reason to not do that. But if you're out at a restaurant and you're eating dinner with your friends and family for someone's birthday, dude, just eyeball 6 ounces of steak. You can look up all this stuff. I was just I was at the Jack Johnson concert in Bend just over the weekend. Got home and flew here. But we were out at a Mexican restaurant, and I was like, I want to keep, there's places where you can go that you could be a little more conscious of your goals. Like, okay, we're going to go out to eat. This is a burger joint, and that's all they have. Whoa, okay. I don't know what the hell they're cooking that stuff, and I don't know what kind of fries. You're going to be the person eating a burger that could probably have like, 80-20% lean beef or whatever. But you could always go to, so I was like, how about we go get Mexican food? I suggested that to the group. Let's get some Mexican food. That sounds bomb. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I'm going to be able to track my food pretty good and no one's going to know that I'm dieting. So we went to the Mexican restaurant. I ordered their the flank steak. They tell you the portion that's in it. And then you just get a couple of those little tortillas and you put some veggies in it. I looked all that stuff up, put it into my little Excel spreadsheet and tracked my meal and no one even knew. And it's stuff like that. I think people think to themselves like, well, I can't even go out. Dude, you can go out anywhere. I'll be heading down to the river. My girlfriend's son and I just cruised down to the river the other day, just him and I. I stopped off at 7-Eleven. I grabbed 2 Rice Krispie Treats and a bag of jerky. I threw that stuff in my app, and that's what I ate as a snack when I was down there. It's not the ideal food to eat. I wouldn't be eating Rice Krispie Treats every single day, all day. But if you want to just get something in to keep you on track while you're gone for 3 or 4 hours, then you come back and then you can start doing more stuff that you could prepare on yourself.
I like that. Yeah. Jerky, I feel like, is one of the great
It's
underappreciated. Jerky and
Rice
string
Krispie
cheese.
treats was all I took away from that. Just the Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah.
String cheese.
In a
and
nutshell,
nuts,
all I eat is Rice Krispie treats. You heard it here.
Rice Krispie body.
Yeah.